So welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today we have part 2 from Adventure Comics 321, published June 1964 with story by Edmund Hamilton and John Forte. And when last we left off, the Legionnaires were being tested to see if they would give up the secret of the Concentrator, which is apparently a ridiculously powerful weapon that could theoretically destroy the universe. So was a member of the science police or somebody was testing them, putting them through psychological evaluation to test if one of the Legionnaires would give up the secret. Unaware of the deadly menace that threatens them, the Legion of Superheroes one by one endure the most terrific brainwashing ordeal in history. But there was a stunning surprise climax in the story of the weakest Legionnaire. I must keep from thinking of the secret. I'll think of great menaces the Legionnaires fought in the past, so I won't give away the secret. So when last we left off, Shrinking Violet was being menaced by some three-headed creature, and she felt that she could not hold in the secret, and so she shrunk herself down and says, the secret of the Concentrator is, I'm speaking the secret now, but I'm so tiny that no one can hear my voice. And indeed, the interrogator comes in and says, yeah, you... Luckily, he didn't have any powerful microphone. So they're having the Legion is having their lunch. Only scant rations to eat. No comfort. This is a depressing place. It would be terrible if one of us fails the test and is imprisoned here for life. It's Saturn Girl herself I'm most worried about. Her power of thought casting could betray the secret if she fails to keep her mouth closed. So next up is Superboy. And the fellow claims that he's going to drop green kryptonite on Superboy if he doesn't tell the secret. But Superboy said, I've made up my mind, I won't tell you. And so green kryptonite drops down, except Superboy figured out it was going to be fake, because otherwise it would have rendered him unable to speak, and he couldn't even have told what the Concentrator was anyway. So next up is Saturn Girl. What is the secret of the Concentrator? Answer. He's wearing a headset capable of receiving vibrations of thought. If I even think of the secret, he'll get it. So she just starts thinking about various things that the Legion of Superheroes done. There's Cosmic Boy catching enemy ships in a giant net, and Starboy doing his thing, Matter Eater Lad eating these red andal trees. Then there's Element Lad and Invisible Boy playing around with juggling. Just on and on. I failed to get a single thought about the Concentrator from you, Saturn Girl. You passed the test. But I must still keep my mind closed so he can't catch me off guard. So then Mon-El is put into a glass case, and then a couple of his friends are outside it, but it has poison gas. Can't affect Mon-El, but if Mon-El frees himself, it will kill his friends. And then an image is flashed of him dying from lead poisoning. It's a picture of myself when I was vulnerable to lead. That time I nearly died before Superboy saved me. It brings back the awful agony I felt. And so he is just, I can't stand the agonizing memory. I'm wondering how he even got that photograph. Was somebody there taking photographs? I can't stand the agonizing memory of that pain. I have to do something. I can't take much more of it. So he breaks himself out. But he figured out that those two are androids, not his actual friends, because his super hearing could hear that they had no heartbeat. Clever, Mon-El. I'll pump out the gas, and then I'll test Phantom Girl. So I guess it was poisonous gas. And Phantom Girl is given a nice meal, unlike anyone else. Why have you been given special food? You must have told him something to be favored. And Superboy says, wait, this favored treatment is a trick to make us quarrel, so we'll talk about the secret. I see microphones hidden in the wall. It's another ruse, but we won't be deceived. So next up is Lightning Lad. What is the secret of the Concentrator? So the walls are insulated, so his lightning will do nothing, and yet for God knows what reason he starts flinging his lightning about. I can't stand this any longer. My bolts are useless in here. My brain is cracking. Let me out. And so he gives up the secret. So I've explained the secret of the concentrator. Now it concentrates free atoms to create matter instantly, so any weapon, any object can be created. A terrible secret indeed. I must lock you up while I test the others. All of you have passed the test and can be trusted to go free, except Lightning Lad. He cracked and told, so he must remain imprisoned here. So Superboy says, for betraying the Legion's greatest secret, we'll keep you imprisoned here for all time. Well, probably just until he's dead. Which now they're kind of probably thinking, wait, we brought you back to life, and would have been better if he just stayed dead. So Lightning Lad tells them, I suspect that's not really the commissioner, but an imposter in disguise. He knew about Chameleon Boy getting trapped and escaping, yet we never told him that. There wasn't time. But if you suspected he's a fake, why did you tell him the concentrator secret? So he didn't. He gave him a secret of a weapon that they attempted to create but failed. He didn't head for Earth. He transferred into a time bubble machine he had parked on a distant world. And there's the real commissioner, a bound captive. I wonder how long that commissioner's been bound there. I assume days. I tricked the Legion nicely by capturing the real commissioner and taking his place, wearing a lead-lined mask. They didn't notice that he had a lead-lined mask? So they would have checked, but they wouldn't be able to because his mask was lead-lined, but they wouldn't notice that he had lead. Okay. So he tries to use the information to build his own concentrator, but it fails because they tricked him. So, yeah, he used just a little bit of information. So this, by the way, is the first time we're seeing the Time Trapper. He's been just kind of on the periphery or behind the iron time curtain. But what he does is he releases these dark stars. Those dark stars are great dead suns hurtling toward the world of Althar, where the Legion still is. The Time Trapper must have some way of controlling gravitation. So he's powerful. He is so powerful that they are forced to use the concentrator. And the concentrator is a real thing. They did not make it up. Use it. Turn on the concentrator's power. And so the concentrator takes all the energy of the entire universe and, I guess, concentrates it. And it's able to stop the black suns. Meanwhile, out in the rest of the universe, what's happening? Something is draining all the power of the sun. And there's no electric or atomic power anywhere. Not a vehicle can move. But it's only momentarily. Our weapon destroyed all the dark stars, but in the minute it did so, it absorbed all power from everywhere. No wonder we can't ever reveal the terrific secret. I wonder who created the concentrator. Was it Brainiac? But the Time Trapper has escaped. He's gone through the Iron Curtain of Time. We'll free the real commissioner, and then we'll return to Earth and prepare to conquer the Time Trapper, even if it means our lives. We vow never to rest until we've penetrated the Iron Curtain of Time and have brought this super criminal to justice. So in the previous part 1, because he stepped into some ray, Bouncing Boy has become thin and lost his power, but he is allowed to stay on the Legion, just not as an active member. Look, since I'm slender, girls don't laugh at me anymore. Oh, even in the 30th century, there's fat shaming. They like me. Meet my girlfriend, Iressa. And Superboy says, oh, no, I mean, she's wonderful, Bouncing Boy. Okay, I got to tell you, that has got to be the biggest jerk thing I've ever heard Superboy or Superman say. I know there's lots of times when he says outrageous things, but it's always because there's like red kryptonite or some secret reason. There, he's just being a jackass. Because, yes, Bouncing Boy's girlfriend's a bit on the heavier side, but man, that's pretty cold.